Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I've got a subscriber replay for you. This is from WisconsoniteEric. His link to his YouTube channel will be in the description. And as you can see, this is from back before he changed his name to WisconsoniteEric, back when he was still known as Eric Enriqua. We pick up the action here as our first enemy aircraft is detected in view. It was that F4U in the lower left, about 10 o'clock or so low. And you can see myself squatted up with Eric. I'm out in front of him a bit, about 3 kilometers out in front right now. And we're discussing what our attack plan was going to be and deciding we were going to move after these. We were waiting to see if anything else was going to be high above us, but really there wasn't anything. So we're ultimately going to decide to dive down and get ourselves mixed up in the furball and use the amazing energy retention and dive capabilities of our Hitlerbolts to carry us through. So that is what we're going to do in a moment. Things are still developing a bit. We're still kind of deciding where exactly, who and when we're going to go after. And there's me chasing a boomerang and way overshooting. Way too much energy. One thing that the Hitlerbolt is both good and terrible for is picking up speed in a dive, because oh my goodness, you will, and you do. Alright, here we go. UK subscribers, feel free to make all the jokes in the comments you want now about this guy's name, because it is hilarious. If you don't understand why it's funny, then just don't worry about it. So Eric is going to make a dive on a Randy Binman here with his Cannon Mustang chasing after our DO-17 heavy fighter. And you'll notice in the upper left the rip speed is getting extremely close, so Eric very smartly decides to just wave off on this attack, use the energy that he built up and just climb himself back up again and get lined up for another pass. However, there are quite a few enemy fighters over here, so Eric's going to line up and go head on with this boomerang coming up. And the boomerang, I don't know why exactly he thought it was a good idea to go head on with a 850 cal Hitlerbolt. This is before the 50 cal buff, mind you. I should have mentioned that. This battle was actually recorded on April 28th, so it's been sitting in my to work on folder for quite a long time, and I finally did get to it here. But Eric's got several enemies now. He's well and truly mixed up in the furball. I'm going to come back around again and initially line up on the boomerang once the boomerang comes back into view. The boomerang rather foolishly forgot about where the 8-gun 50 cal gun platform is and becomes the first kill of the day. So that's one down. And how about that air show move right there on that Spitfire? That very nearly ended Eric's battle right at the start. Shortly thereafter, Eric finishes off a guy on a Buffalo for kill number 2. And as he rolls back around searching for a new target, here comes our boy the Binman again. And another head-on. Now, neither one of these are particularly smart head-ons, but it doesn't look like either one of them did any damage to each other, and they both bailed out pretty quickly off of it and decided to use their maneuverability to their advantage. Now the P-51 is slightly better off here, but Eric has a couple tricks up his sleeve, including combat flaps and turning really hard. Combat flaps and getting almost down to stall will do you pretty well with the Hitlerbolt, although there is a limit. And eventually you run out of altitude and you just need to run. Now Eric does take some hits here, and then is able to swing it into a rolling scissors with another P-51 and take him out as he foolishly overshoots. And then he gets involved with this P-63, or P-39 rather. He gets in a very... oh, he's a P-63. My bad. It's been a while since I watched this video. And he's able to force him into an overshoot as well, and then keep rolling out. Our boy the Binman reappears. He's missing part of his aircraft. Several parts of his aircraft. With a bit of damage to Eric's plane, it takes a moment. But eventually, Randy Binman is just out of energy, and Eric is not out of bullets, and finally saws his wing off for kill number 4. Now, for a lot of people, that'd be a pretty darn good battle, but Eric's barely halfway done. Our friend in the P-63 is back for more rolling scissors, and he overshoots pretty badly, but Eric isn't quite able to roll around on him, because somebody else is in shooting on him now. A second P-63. Now, thankfully, the Jug's legendary ability to absorb punishment comes into play here pretty hard. And Eric has forced another overshoot from another overeager attacker, but he still can't quite get around on him. And then the P-63 decides to re-engage in the rolling scissors, which was not the right move, as you'll see in a moment. He comes back in, he's well out in front, and the 50 cal saw his wing off as well. And that's an ace in a single flyout for Eric. But he's still not done yet. He's a little over halfway done now. So he's going to roll in and head for home now and get some repairs, get some more ammo. I'm already back on the runway as well, landed from some damage that I took from some dogfighting. And we will skip the landing and retake off and pick up the battle again in the air as the first enemy aircraft comes into sight for this takeoff. And that is another Cannon P-51 up ahead. I'm giving chase up there and having a bit of trouble with the maneuverability of the P-47 compared to the P-51, but able to use the energy to keep him off of me pretty well. Eric is on his way as fast as he can to get there and render assistance. And eventually I've just overshot too many times with the energy and the inability to turn with him and just hit turn, use the speed to head for the deck, and just run away. Live to fight my stolen, captured Hitlerbolt another day. And he goes into a head-on with Eric, which is not a terrible or a great idea, really. 420 mil cannons against 850 cals is a pretty even match in a head-on. Both pretty dangerous. And again, the P-47 doesn't quite have the ability to turn with the P-51. However, sometimes bigger threats appear, and while Eric is watching behind him, the head-on P-51 that manages to get him some pretty good radiator damage, although he's able to return the favor and totally destroy him for his 6th kill of the battle. And then as he rolls back down and around, myself and a 190A are on the P-51 pretty tight. Eric's got some pretty bad engine and radiator damage, so he's going to run for home. I set the P-51 on fire, and then shortly thereafter he gets wiped out by the FW-190, and Eric pulls off an assist. So that's 6 kills and an assist, and another trip back home for some repairs, because that engine is not going to last long. So we'll skip the second landing and the third takeoff. Well, not second takeoff, technically, because of the air start. And we'll pick up again with the first enemy coming into view, which is a P-63, about 20 kilometers off in the distance. By now, the enemy is down pretty far in their total number of players left. Although I can tell you for sure there's at least 2 of them left. So one thing I will say is that we have... neither of us or our other friends who also bought the captured German P-47 have ever regretted our purchase. It's definitely one of the best money-making and Golden Eagle wager winning aircraft that we have come across. There are some that are better or equally as good, but the P-47, the German P-47, affectionately referred to as the Hitlerbolt, is definitely one of the best purchases you can make if you want a medium-ish tier German premium aircraft. You just get so much ammunition. If they'd have given this thing rockets or bombs, like either the American P-47s or the captured Russian, or the, not captured, but Lend-Lease Russian P-47s, this thing would be insanely overpowered. As it is, as a ground striker or as a fighter on fighter or bomber destroyer even at this tier, it is insanely good. We have made a lot of Golden Eagles off of this, off of the Hitlerbolt flying it together. Occasionally we'll use other aircraft like the 219 or the TA-154, but for the most part, this is one of the better premium aircraft that you can have for German. We researched a lot of our German trees between us with the P-47. So the P-63 has arrived overhead. He's going to make a diving pass on Eric. Eric is able to fairly easily outmaneuver him and then roll in on him from behind. Because instead of pulling up and running away like he should have, the P-63 rolls out right in front of Eric and becomes kill number 7. Followed almost immediately by a P-39 and a head-on for kill number 8. And just like that, kill 7 and kill 8 are in the books. 8 kills and an assist. In 3 flyouts, technically, for 1 battle here. That's quite a battle, folks. Almost 5,000 base score. Pretty good. If that P-39 hadn't come in head-on and Eric was able to chase him down, he almost assuredly would have gotten over 5,000 score. And that's the end of it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a fairly quick one, just one I've been sitting on in my to be worked on folder for a while, so let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for checking this one out. Have a great Monday.